Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. Bailey Brown and Jeremy Simon are one of the most improbable pairings on this season of Bachelor in Paradise. In addition to Jeremy and Bailey, other early couples were Kat Izzo and Dale Moss and Jess Edwards and Spencer Conley. Brian Otts eventually discovered a relationship with Parisa Shifta. Jeremy was a fan favorite during Jen Tran's Bachelorette season, but his antics on the beach has turned viewers off. Bailey was a participant on Grant Ellis' Bachelor season, but was eliminated in week 3. She instantly teamed up with Jeremy on the beach. However, when Andrew Spencer arrived, she went on a date with him. Jeremy had already agreed to go on a date with Susie Evans, but he was upset when Bailey went on another date. While Bailey was on a date with Andrew, Jeremy called Susie Evans to persuade her to return to the show. She rejected him down. Despite confessing to the other ladies, none of them had discovered Bailey's deceit. The next episode's trailer teases that she will find out, but from one of the women or someone else. Bachelor in Paradise viewers should expect intense kissing, body shots, and generally chaotic behavior. However, in the previous episode, Jeremy and Bailey went too far. While kissing, they exchanged a bit of gum and dangled a string between them. Consider the Lady and the Tramp's iconic spaghetti scene, but grosser and far less romantic. Bachelor in Paradise fans reacted on social media to the intimate moment. Many viewers were repulsed by the gum switching. In fact, several show viewers assumed it was typical middle school conduct. If someone leaks Jeremy's secret phone call to Susie next week, Bailey will undoubtedly be hurt. Will she call it quits with him? Reality Steve stated earlier this season that Jeremy and Simon had left the beach as a pair. The present state of their relationship will not be known until the season 10 finale. The finale's air date has yet to be set, but it is expected in early September. Bailey Brown never imagined she'd become a central figure in the messiest storyline of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10. When she first stepped onto the beach, the Tennessee native still carried the sting of being eliminated in week 3 of Grant Ellis' Bachelor season. Her exit had been quiet and forgettable, but producers saw something in her, an approachable, easygoing girl next door with just enough backbone to stir things up when necessary. What they didn't expect, however, was for Bailey to form an instant connection with someone as unpredictable as Jeremy Simon. Jeremy, a former frontrunner from Jen Tran's season of The Bachelorette, arrived on the beach to cheers and applause. He had earned the coveted fan favorite label thanks to his dry humor, emotional vulnerability, and that heart-wrenching goodbye with Jen after he self-eliminated in week 7. But Paradise brought out another side of Jeremy. Within days, he was sneaking tequila shots with Brian Otts behind the bar, cannonballing into the ocean at midnight, and drawing playful attention from multiple women. The carefree vacation vibe had unleashed something unruly in him, and while it was entertaining at first, the cracks in his charm began to show. Bailey was the first woman he truly focused on. They clicked immediately, bonding over their mutual distaste for shrimp cocktails, their shared southern roots, and a love of true crime podcasts. Their connection was physical, too. Within 48 hours, they'd been spotted cuddling on a daybed and locking lips under a tangerine sky. Jess Edwards teased them for being the first official couple of the season. Even Kat Izzo raised an eyebrow, noting to Dale Moss, "Did not have Bailey and Jeremy on my bingo card." But Paradise isn't designed for stability. Andrew Spencer arrived on day 4, his signature grin and confident strut throwing a wrench in nearly every established relationship. While Jess and Spencer Conley seemed to weather the chaos, other couples faltered. Kat became oddly distant with Dale. Brian, still untethered, was visibly shaken by Parisa Shifta's arrival. And Bailey, sweet, straightforward Bailey, was asked on Andrew's first one-on-one date. She said yes. Jeremy pretended to be okay with it. She should explore, he told Jess and Spencer, waving off their concerned expressions. But that night, after sipping 2 margaritas and staring into the crashing waves, Jeremy pulled out a burner phone. One he'd hidden in his suitcase and smuggled in with the help of a production assistant he had previously befriended during Jen's season. And he made the call, to none other than Susie Evans. Susie had only been on the beach for 48 hours before deciding paradise wasn't for her. The drama, the attention, the intrusive cameras, it all reminded her of the emotional fatigue she experienced after her whirlwind romance and breakup with Clayton Echard. She'd left quietly, hugging a few castmates, offering vague reasons about clarity and trusting her gut. But her chemistry with Jeremy had been undeniable, and it was clear to several contestants that something unsaid lingered between them. The call lasted barely 30 seconds, but it set off a ripple that would define the rest of the season. Jeremy never told Bailey. Instead, he doubled down on their connection, greeting her with exaggerated affection when she returned from her date with Andrew. She looked conflicted. Her time with Andrew had been easy, full of light teasing and a shared love of music, but it lacked the spark she had with Jeremy. So, she recommitted. They spent the next morning whispering in the cabana, laughing over a shared breakfast plate, and drawing hearts in the sand with their toes. It would have been cute, if not for what happened next. During a steamy makeout session on the beach, Jeremy and Bailey were spotted doing something that would send Bachelor Nation into a tailspin. They swapped gum. Not just a quick handoff or a playful dare. No, this was full-on, mouth-to-mouth gum transfer, mid-kiss, with the string of saliva caught in the sunset's golden light. Think Lady and the Tramp, if the spaghetti had been chewed twice and stretched between tongues. Reddit threads filled with horror stories, childhood flashbacks, and speculation that producers had intentionally aired the clip for shock value. Memes flooded Instagram. One compared the gum to a bungee cord, another labeled Jeremy and Bailey as gummy bears gone wild. Even franchise alums weighed in. Dean Unglert tweeted, "That gum scene made me wish I'd never owned a tongue." Demi Burnett simply posted a gif of someone vomiting into a trash can. Bailey and Jeremy were oblivious at first. Producers withheld their phones, as usual, and no one on the beach dared bring up the incident until Brian, ever the instigator, muttered to Parisa, "That gum kiss? I still can't unsee it." She gagged audibly. But the real drama wasn't the gum. It was Jeremy's secret. Surrogacy remained an option. Katie's doctors had advised her to consider freezing eggs quickly after diagnosis, but the window had been small. Hormone stimulation could pose risks, and with stage 4 cancer, the urgency to begin treatment overrode everything else. One egg had been preserved before her hormone blockers began, but whether it would be viable was uncertain. And even then, finding a surrogate, undergoing the legal process, and maintaining health stability long enough to be a mother through alternative means? Nothing was guaranteed. Katie had always been brutally honest with her fans. On The Bachelorette, she was known for her sex-positive attitude and emotional openness. Now, she used that same honesty to describe the darker corners of her experience. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.